So hello guys, I wanted to share my build guide. It's not really a guide because I think you should write a guide to something good. This build isn't that bad, but it's definitely not the best build ever. This is Volatile Dead Miner, so we're playing Saboteur. I'm level 98 and I'll be honest, I didn't level to 98 with this build. I re-rolled from Seismic Trap. I just had an idea of this build. I wanted to play Volatile Dead for a long time, and good old Spellslinger version is now dead, so I had to improvise. And I already did play with Cock Bow, with Blast Train, VD, DD, and it is good, but I still wanted to try something new for myself. So this is what I came up with. This is low life, so we using Prism Guardian and Shafts. We're using Presence of Chiula, since it's so good. I'm using default Unearth Gloves, um, +2 Dagger. This one is very good implicits, and I did get it very cheaply, so why not? Very cheap, no, and these aren't very cheap, but these are like regular boots with movement speed and resistances. I got this one for pretty cheap though. Uh, Energy shield and resistances, and 2 circles of anguish. Not the best circles of anguish in the world, but this is fine. And my main links are in a helmet, and this was pretty painful to craft. So this is essence for low life. You can also, this is essence of hysteria or hysteria. So these essences. You could also craft it with essence of horror, but since I am playing low life already, essence of hysteria basically dies the same, but it's a little bit cheaper. I'm using hypothermia, shapers hypothermia, spell critical strike chance, and consecrated damage. So volatile that, high impact mine, LF focus, and mindfield. And this is a 3-button build instead of usual mine's 2-button build. This is a 3-button build, so we have to press unearth, then place mines, then press detonate. This is a little bit clunky, but actually on the maps it's not that clunky. I'll show you that now. So regular T16 mesa, just touch and go. The initial part is really clunky, but then you just get a lot of corpses and they explode. And when you get this, you just throw mounts, and this is an good old 2-button playstyle. You just need corpses. You need to get corpses, and then you are 2-button playstyle instead of 3. So, for example, these here exploded. Now they have their own bodies, and I can explode them. So mostly it is 2-button build instead of 3, but initially, yes, it kinda is 3-button build. So single targets. As you see, this isn't the best single target in the world. It does the job, but yeah. Clear speed is, well, VD does have a very good clear speed, even though it's clunky. Build is more or less tanky. I didn't build a glass cannon, even though it's low life with shafts. Use determination, molten shell. So yeah, when you already have volatiles, they are just wonders. I don't want to go Sanctum, and I don't think this is a very good Sanctum runner, although Volatile does seem like it should be good, but I'm mostly been farming Sanctum with other builds, with Livestock, Hex Blast Cyan, Mana 2. So as you see, clear is like alright. It's not the best clear in the world. It's not a blade vortex with 300 movement speed, but it's alright. And the thing is, with volatile jets, they are basically a mine by themselves because you can just prepare them. And the same thing with mines. As you see, more or less fine. No curses. Something killed me. That wasn't very fortunate, but I guess you more or less understand how it works already. So, I think I already explained everything about the gear. Flask, I'm actually using internal mana flask, because I couldn't just, get with mana reservation. Probably I could play Clarity, but it should be like level 20 Clarity, because mines are pretty expensive, and I cannot get minus mana cost on the ring. If I could, that would be actually great, but I'm using two Circles of Anguish, and they just give too much. Herald of Ash is like 30 more, or even 40 more. I'm using Zealotry uh, with Divine Blessing. I'm using Discipline, Determination, and Anger. What else? Auras. I use Summon Skitterbots, since we're playing mines. Herald of Ash, as I said. Molten Shell and Vitality. Flame-Based Enlighten. I don't think you really need Enlighten. Currently, I'm not having all of my arrows on. So something like this, and just make sure. Yeah, I have. So with 23, I have around 100 mana left. And since I do not have any regeneration right now, I have to use Flask, which actually is very, very bad for bossing, because we cannot sustain this Flask. I could possibly get this node here by the cost of 3 points, but I really don't know which points I should be using, which I should be respecking to this, and I think maybe getting Clarity should be better. So, can we fit it in? Can just check it. I had Clarity level 14 somewhere. Clarity level 14. More or less understand. To more or less understand how it works. So yeah. Yeah. 20 mines instead of 23. So basically we don't need volatile mines. But yeah, at least, yeah. I just decided to test it now. I don't know why. But yeah. We cannot cast anything else, although. So, no Molten Shell, no Zealotry, no anything. And yes, if you look, I do have self-cast curses, which sounds awful. And guess what? It is awful. It is awful. Self-casting curses is basically very, very clunky. And on the map, I just don't use them at all. Damage is decent enough. For curses, I went for Flammability and Assassin's Mark. I'm not sure about my critical strike chance, but with Assassin's Mark, with Power Charges, and with Zealotry, it's very decent, according to my POB, which I will link down below for POB base bin. So, why am I not using our Arcanist brand? Because I just want to use Shield Charge. But I think maybe I should just give up on it, give up on Shield Charging, and just use Arcanist brand, because this is too many buttons. We already are three button builds. This is awful. About main links, why Minefield instead of, where did I have it? Wake and Spell Cascade. Well, let me just demonstrate it for you. So, Unearth with, so my Unearth link, Phantasmal Unearth, Great Volley, Empower, Enhance, and plus a lot of levels. I get a nerf here, and I get fire exposure. And I have an enchantment for an earth. So the life of corpses with an earth is very good. I could get it higher if I was using like Ashes of the Stars or just an army with +1 all spell skills. But I don't have it, and I just don't know how to fit it in, because Presence of Chayula, it gives us a lot. Yeah, it's hard to calculate now because it gives me also attributes. So yeah, I think level 29, an Earth with how much quality? So 52 quality, so corpses spawned have 52 increased max life is decent. And going back to Spell Cascade, so I think I should change it to something like 5 Chamber of Innocence, just for it to be more clear. So an Earth, Minefield, 4 mines, 5 bolts, 5 oranges, Spell Cascade instead of Minefields, 3 oranges. Maybe it would work different with Desecrate, but I think I already invested a lot into an Earth, so I go for Minefield. I wanted to use Swift Assembly, but Minefield just seems to work better. And I originally just wanted to play with Charge Mines to get Frenzy Charges, but it just really is very bad. It's just awful. Low in mana. So I think it's basically a right build. I managed to kill Endless Hunger. What's his name? Endless Hunger, I think. The mini boss from Meter. This boy with an invitation. I think I wasted 2 portals on it, but it's doable. So if I'm talking that I could kill Wreathen Invitation with 2 portals, we are not talking about Ubers at all. No. Maybe with some improvements or some new ideas, this build could be even better, much better. And theoretically, according to Pop, I have around 20 million DPS from the mine, but it's really clunky to calculate it, and I really don't know how it works with basically double mines. These balls are mines by themselves basically, and we use them with mines. So I'm actually satisfied with this build, but I think I will re-roll later into new version of Spellslinger, which I also created, and soon we'll see if Spellslinger VD is worth it at all. I've seen like 5, maybe 6 people on PoE Ninja playing old school Necromancer, and I'm gonna be using Trickster. So that means we don't have access to Corpse Pact, but I think we'll do without it. And see you next time. Goodbye.